guys, so you need to come and get your hair oil from HB in the Cut. Okay, it's not a joke. You know what ingredients are in here? You know what ingredients in it? It's argan oil. Now you know that's good for your hair. Okay, and there's carrot oil. They don't talk about carrot oil, but there's carrot oil up in here, and there's coconut oil, and there's many more other oils, but those are just a few that I have listed. Okay, and personally I would say it has a pineapple hint to it, so your hair gonna be smelling of pineapples. It's not a joke. So this is for, you know, like travel size, you know, just want to keep it, you know, in your pocket, in your bag. Okay, it's for men and women, we don't discriminate. Okay, also this one has more of a peppermint smell to it, same ingredients but a bit more of a peppermint smell. Okay, all right, so you could just be pineapple, peppermint, up to you. Okay, and men out there, don't think we forgot about you. Okay, because we have the beard oil. Okay, beard oil, yes, beard oil, that's what HB in the Cut selling out here, not just hair oil, beard oil as well. Okay, so this one has jojoba oil, okay, and has castor oil. Now you know how good castor oil is for your hair, very good. Okay, and sometimes we know the beard can get a bit dry, but don't worry, HB in the Cut has got you, and your beard will be feeling moisturized. You can also use a comb to brush out, even out the oil. Okay, we got you. Okay, so get your oils today from HB in the Cut.
Okay guys, hello, this is Risha's Tarot. I know it's been a week, don't cuss me, I have a lot of assignments, so this one might be a quick one. It's not as long as I usually do it, but I still will make it very, you know, in depth. Okay, so this is a pick a card reading on what are my superpowers or qualities that people notice. Okay, you've got 3 piles, so this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And yes, hello, welcome back subscribers, hello new faces. Okay, I hope you like this reading, and I'm gonna go to pile number 1. Cool, so we have the Ten of Swords as your superpower or quality, and the way I kind of interpret that, guys, is you guys just know, when I was shuffling for this pile, I'm not gonna lie, I was picking up an over it energy. You guys are just over it, like, okay. And it's not in like a bad way, but like, just I feel like when situations occur or things don't work out, you know, the way you'd like, you're just like, okay, well, it didn't work out, doesn't mean I have to deal with it. So you're just like, yeah. Now that might have sounded a bit weird, but what I mean is, like, you know, so if I was to use a situation, you know, if like you have a toxic partner and they keep doing the most, you know, some people are like, oh my gosh, Frederick, calm down, stop messing up the place. You know, I don't know. You guys aren't trying to do all that entertaining stuff of, oh my gosh, stop it, please, let's work this out. You guys are like, okay, well, seeing as you want to be a madman, or you want to be a mad gal and mash up the place and do the most and be toxic, there's the door. I haven't got time for it. Maybe someone else, you know, will entertain your foolishness, but I'm just not doing it. I'm tired. I've had enough. And for you guys, I feel like you guys have been through a lot of stuff. I feel like people have said a lot of mean things to you guys. I feel like people have betrayed you guys, and this is why there's been a shift of personality. So before, I was kind of picking up, you guys gave, you know, an F about a lot of stuff, and now you're just like, I'm not doing that. You know, what's the point? What do I get out of it? You know, so you're just like, nah, what's for me is for me, and if you're not for me, you can go. And if that job wasn't for me, oh well, I'll go look for another job. It's not that deep. I'm not going to sit here and cry over it. Yeah, things need to be done, and the world, you know, what's the word? Oh, and life moves on, because life goes on. Sorry, and life goes on. Like, I haven't got time to be sitting here crying. So it's just literally, I feel like a superpower you guys have is, like, you're able to cut things when they need to be cut. Okay, you're able to say, I'm not dealing with this no more. And you're actually is, and you know, some people, they cut things out and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, they get, what's the word, um they get, they feel like they need it again because that's what they used to. You guys are kind of like, no, when I said I was done with that, I'm actually done with that. Like, and I'm actually calm. I'm not like, I don't feel like I need to get this thing back or do this thing again. Like, that's done. So yeah. And it is a superpower because some people, they don't have that quality. They don't have that power. They don't have the power to just cut things when they need to be cut. They like to give people second chances, you know, which is nice and that. But at some point, you gotta say, you know, like, you're not taking the Mickey again, bro. What's this? Like, that's not happening again. So yeah, cut off game A1. People respect it. They notice it. But then yeah, do you know what? For power number one, don't tell the other powers, they'll cuss me. But yeah, I was starting to, I was going to do the title as, oh, you know, what is your superpower or quality that people are jealous of? But I changed it when I got to power number two. So I guess it was just your energy where people are kind of jealous of your super qualities. So yes, I feel like, so in saying that, I feel like some people, they're a bit jealous that you're able to just cut people off. Like, yeah. And especially people that you've actually cut off, they're like, oh my gosh, how dare you think you can just cut me off like I'm nothing. Well, to me, you're nothing. I don't care. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting from you guys. You guys are like, okay, that's nice. There's how many other people in the world that you can go harass and bother? Leave me alone. Like, that's literally the vibe. So it's just really understanding your self-worth and you knowing that, you know, what is for you and you can cut anything or anyone off at any time if it protects your, you know, mental health. So yeah. I feel like you guys are really good with communication. I think you guys get straight to the point. So that's another superpower. So you know, some people, they're trying to explain something but they can't explain it properly. I don't feel like you guys have them sort of problems. I feel you're like, I said what I said and this is what it is. I'm sorry if your feelings are hurt, but I haven't got time to be beating around the bush. I've got things to do, and we're not going to sit here for 50 years talking about the same thing over and over again, and, you know, there's no result. So, yeah, you know? And people are like, oh, I don't... So people really like how you articulate yourself, and you get straight to the point, and I feel like solutions come from whatever you've said. You get a good result in the end because of the 10, and 10 kind of represents completion. So whatever you've said, like, there's a completion after. So yeah, there's always a solution, or, you know, stuff actually gets done after you said what you've needed to say, and people understand very clearly what you have to say. So yeah, I feel like you can articulate yourself very well. I feel like you guys are quite sharp and blunt when you need to be. So there are some people that are sharp and blunt at a really bad time, you know, at a time where people need compassion. They didn't really need, you know, the bluntness like that at that specific time. So you guys are very strategic of when you're blunt and when you consider other people's feelings. But more often it seems that being blunt and, you know, getting straight to the point has worked out for you, and people do see that as a superpower. You guys are really good at finishing things. So like any task you have to complete, you guys are like, yeah, like you guys finish it quite quickly, especially if it has to do with speech. Very, very quickly. Like, yep. And if it's not quickly, it's just you're able to get things done. If you say you're going to do something, you do it and it's done. Like, there's no issue. There's no, oh my gosh, can you help me, please? And it's actually fine to ask for help, but it just seems like you guys don't really need the help. It's like you've been given a task, you do it, and then it's done, you know? And people are like, how did you do that with no help? And you're like, it was quite simple instructions. I don't see why I needed to ask anyone for help. But to other people, that like if they have been given the same type of uh, quest, you know, the same type of project or task to do, they wouldn't be able to do it without help. And you guys are like, I don't need help. I could do what I need to do. And it's not in a cocky way or in a way of, oh, I don't need no one. Not in that type of way. But you actually don't really need help with a lot of tasks. You just complete it. And people are like, wow, amazing. Okay, let's see what else. We have the Six of Cups. So when this card came out, I was under the impression that you guys were kind of ice cold, like you guys just had enough of people and their foolishness. But then like a loving card of the Six of Cups came out after, and I was like, oh, so that's what I'm kind of saying. Like I feel like you guys deep down are really lovely, caring, you know, empathetic people, or empathic, I should say maybe. But now you're just like, no, I need to be strategic with who I give that love and care to. It's not everyone can get my love and care. Yeah? Like, not everyone deserves it. So people notice that. And that is a skill, because it's like you're able to find out or work out who to, you know, show affection to and who not to. So there, that is a skill. But some of you are really good cooks. Okay, you thought I didn't know. I know, I see you. There's that. Some of you, you're just very generous, very caring. You kind of know when someone needs a helping hand, so that's quite intuitive of you. You know how to be a good host. You know how to, you know, accommodate people and make them feel comfortable. Some of you are really good singers. Okay, you thought I didn't notice that too? Okay. Some of you really good singers. And if it's not that you're a good singer, you're just a very good entertainer, I should say. You're very good at entertaining your friends. Friends, family, okay? You're quite an entertaining person, and that's a good skill to have. Because some people, they aren't creative like that, and that's okay. But you do have this strong element of creativity within you. And people really like that, you know. They're like, wow, it's good. But yeah, as I said, I was seeing singer, dancer, entertainer, very generous person, knows when people need help. And you probably do that through communication, by just sitting down and speaking with someone, you know. And it sounds so simple, but some people, they can't read a room, you know, or they don't, they're not very intuitive. Like, they'll sit down and someone's trying to explain to them that they're having a really bad day, and all they'll do is sit down and talk about themselves. But you guys can kind of sense, okay, cool, this person's having a not very nice day. They're going through something, so let me make them feel comfortable, you know. As I said, very good host. You have this ability to make the family want to come together, or your group of friends come together. So if everyone has like different jobs and different schedules, you're the person that's able to get everyone together on one day to do one particular thing, and everyone like just enjoys themselves basically and has fun. And I feel like your friends and or family are grateful that you are the person that, you know, is able to do that, because they feel like they can't. They try to do that. Susie will say she's busy doing this. Frederick will say he's busy doing that. Like, it just wouldn't work out. So I don't know. You have that ability, but I guess it's your communication strength. You make people feel welcomed. I guess even if they don't really know you that well, that you made them feel welcomed. You have a cozy element or feel to you. So even though you're able to cut things off whenever, you still haven't gotten rid of that cozy, warm, welcoming side of you. You know, you're like, no, I'm still like that, but not everyone can get it this time. See, that's the difference. Not everyone can get it this time because I'm not having it, you know. And I respect it, part number one. I respect it. I feel like you guys are very abundant. So I see that you're very abundant when it comes to friends and family. I do see that. Even if you're someone that's like, I don't really like spending time with a lot of friends and family. I will not really get that, but even if you are someone like that, they're there anyway. Like you attract them. basically. So if you're kind of like, I don't really show you guys attention, I don't know why you're up in my face 24/7 all the time. It's just your vibe. They like it, you know. They like how you are as a person. But anyways, you're abundant in that respect, and I guess in other ways, maybe it's just in that respect. Maybe it's financially as well, but I think it's more to do with like quality time with people, and then people in general. There's a lot of abundance there. Um, I feel like you give people energy. So when people are feeling kind of down and sad or low, you're able to energize them in some type of way. Or if someone's feeling like, oh, like, um, what am I gonna do? My life's over, or they're feeling quite depressed. You're the sort of person that's able to like keep them or make them motivated to, look forward to something in their life. So that's very nice of you guys. You guys are very important people. Obviously everyone's important, but you do give a lot to people if you didn't realize, and they really appreciate you for that, even if they probably haven't said. But yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. So this is what I mean, like you're just abundant, like with friends, people in general. But with the Ace of Cups, it kind of gives me the vibe of like even partners. There's an abundance of partners. Like you have this vibe about you that attracts new people, and it could be new friendships. But let me get into the lover section first. Okay, let's talk about love first. Okay. I'm going to talk about it because I'm a Taurus and we rule Venus and we love love. So yeah, let's talk about that first because I want to. Okay. Okay, so obviously when you're speaking to new people, I think they can pick up this quality about you. Like you're a very loving, caring person deep down, but maybe you have a cold exterior of I'm nice but don't mess with me because I'm really not the one and I'm not the two, yeah? So, they're like, okay, well, I mean, they still like it. They're like, okay, cool. This is a ice cold person from on the outside. But on the inside, I can tell that they're really sweet. They're really sweet and caring, and I do want to explore a connection with them because I feel like they're worth it, and I feel like that's how some people feel. When it comes to speaking to you. Okay, it's got a bit deep. I never really saw the card like that before. But do you see how like I feel like these are two hands? I feel like there's a blue hand and then there's a light blue hand cupping the blue hand, and then so the blue hand's holding the cup and then the light blue hand is holding the dark blue hand, yeah. And I see that as kind of like people that you speak to, they kind of realize that you're always the one giving love to people around you, and you do like it's so interesting because in this card we have a hand and cups, and these hands here giving cups to these people, which are interpreted as like your family or friends or something, and that's your hand with the cup, giving your affection and care to them. And it's come out in another deck like the same symbolism, so scary, but it's like they see that you're very caring towards other people and loving, and they feel like, okay, so who's showing you care, who's showing you affection, who's showing you love? I want to do that, so yeah, you kind of have that power to make them want to do that because they feel like you deserve it, and you do. But yeah, people notice. So I don't know. And as I said, this was initially like a jealousy reading a bit for pile number one. So I do feel like some people are quite envious of the fact that you have partners that actually want to look after you, and because they might have partners that just want to use them. So to actually have a partner that can actually see that you're caring and giving and loving, and they want to do that for you, that's lovely. I think that's what a lot of people would like. So when some people see that and they don't have that in their relationship, they're not really gonna like you for it, because it's like, how come you deserve that and I don't? Like, I'm busting my to look after my man, and he's not showing me no attention. I'm busting my to look after this girl, and she's not showing me no attention. So you can see how it can make some people around you feel a bit salty. But yeah, and if you guys, don't resonate, and you feel like you pick up partners that are actually quite toxic, they're not actually that loving and caring, maybe that message wasn't for you. But yeah, moving forward. I feel like you guys have the ability to, even though like you may have gone through like a really hard time with someone for a long time. Some of you had some connection with someone. It was a really long connection, and they took liberties. But I feel like you have the ability to, when you see new people, you don't paint them with the same brush. You're like, oh hi, how are you? Like, it's a completely new situation, like, and it is. So you're looking at them with like rose-colored glasses. Like, oh hi, how are you? You're right. And people really admire that quality with you, and they think that's a superpower, because a lot of people can't do that. Like, they'll go through some really hard times, and then every time they meet someone, it's like, oh, you're just gonna do this to me, yeah, because Kyle did that to me, so you're gonna do it too, And it's like, and then Kyle's sitting, no, then this guy's sitting there like, I'm not Kyle, like, stop, like, don't stop associating me with him. I didn't do anything to you, always them type of situations. And and you don't do that. And people like that about you, even with friends. Like, you may have had snaky friends that have betrayed you, but when you make new connections with people, you don't do that. Sorry, you don't associate them with them, cross as friends. So yeah. I feel like you guys always have like new hobbies, or you do new things. You have the ability to do something new, and for a lot of you, it's something that's new and creative. May have to do with music, may have to do with art. Music is art, but like other art forms as well. But whatever it is that you do, you actually like it. There's a I don't want to say passion, but there's a love for it, and people do think that's a good quality to have, because it is a good quality to like pick up a new hobby, or something new that you actually love, because some people don't have that ability. They're just like, well, this is what my life is. This is how my life is. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick with it. And I mean, me personally, I don't like that stuff, because I just think like, oh my gosh, so you're really just gonna like not do nothing. But you guys don't think like that. You're like, well, a lot of bad things have happened, but I'm gonna start something new, and it's gonna be something I love to do. And people see that as a superpower, which is it, Yeah, okay, let's go to the next one. We have Typhon, Anger and Rage, but it was in reverse. I'm just showing you this way so you can see the character. So I feel like when people try to wind you up, or they're aggressive, because I was kind of seeing that with the Ten of Swords, that people have done that to you. Like, people just come with some people come with some aggressive behavior, or they do something to provoke aggressive behavior within you. You're just like, yeah, I'm not falling for that, but okay. You're just like, yeah, no one's really falling for that. Okay, like, I haven't really got time for that. I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. You've done this 50,000 times, and you think I'm going to fall for it again. I haven't got time for it. So you kind of know when people are trying to wind you up, and when you do want to get upset in a situation, even if it's someone new, if you do want to get upset in a situation, you have the ability to say, you know what, I am angry, I'm going to accept that I'm angry, that's fine, but that doesn't mean I have to sit here and act like one tyrant just because I'm upset and angry. I don't have to mess up the whole place just because I'm angry. Like, what's that going to solve? That just proves I'm just like you, and I don't want to be nothing like you. So you guys have kind of learnt to just find peace within like really hostile or awkward situations. And I don't mean stay in the hostile, awkward situation, but you learn not to react like the hostile person. Because it's like, what? I'm not stooping to your level and behaving like that. That's ridiculous. If that's how you want to behave because your communication is rubbish, cool. But I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. So, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I was getting this image of like someone just shouting in your face, or someone saying the most vindictive, horrible things to you, that can make anyone, want to do something, not nice to themselves. I don't know. I was seeing that. Sometimes people say some really horrible things, and then it makes people want to like go into depression or do anything. And I feel like you guys just stare at the person like, okay, that was that was Oscar worthy. But yeah, I'm not gonna really respond the same way. I'm not gonna sit here and cry neither, because I know that's what you wanted to. But I think most of you want me to get angry back, and I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. You tried it, but you failed. So, madam. So yeah, and people are like, oh my gosh, Parliament, how did you not get angry? How did you not punch them in the throat? And you're like, cause what? Cause why? Why? Because that's just showing them that they're important, and they ain't important to me. They can get cut off. I ain't got time for it. Like, there's so many people around me, that are loving and caring, and appreciate me. I ain't got to, stoop to this one person's level who's just, ignorant and horrible, and like, I ain't got time for it. I'm not getting angry. And sometimes it's not to do with just a person. Like, it could even be to do with like, opportunities that you might not have gotten, where it can make you angry. You're just kind of like, well, I'm not going to sit and get angry. If it wasn't, that just means it wasn't for me, What's for me is for me. And, I didn't get that job, but I will get the next job, And if I don't get that job, then I'll get the next job. I just wasn't supposed to have this one. That's just what it is, I tried my best. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I'm not going to get angry, whatever. Yes, So you guys have kind of adopted this type of Buddha mentality of, yeah, it is what it is. And I'm at peace with that. So, yeah. You know how to keep your composure in tempting situations, I should say. So, yeah. Interesting. Then we have Candy Cane Angel. It's time for a treat. Okay, it's time for a treat. So, I feel like you guys just know when you guys know how to look after yourself, and you're probably like, what? Everyone knows how to look after themselves. No, some people don't. Some people don't know how to do it. So the fact that you have the ability to look after yourself is really, really good. Is a super quality. And you're someone that's like, what, I've worked very hard. I deserve a little takeaway this week. Why not? I did a little hard work. I want that facial. I want that massage because I deserve it. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna get my hair done next week. Yeah. You know why? Because I deserve it. So and you do, because you guys are very giving people, and not just to other people, but you're probably very giving and hardworking when it comes to your work as well. I didn't really see any pentacles in this reading, but I still think whatever you guys are supposed to be doing, you put 101% in. So you do deserve, the treatment that you give yourself, if you give yourself good treatment. So yeah. And if you don't give yourself good treatment, maybe is spirit guides advising you, to start treating yourself a bit better. But I do get the feeling you guys know when to. If you can cut people off like it's nothing these days, that means you're able to treat yourself. So yeah. And so if you guys have been feeling guilty about treating yourself, some of you might have been treating yourself a lot recently. You're like, maybe that was unnecessary. I probably shouldn't have done that. No. Obviously, if it's not breaking your bank, yeah, it's fine. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like this is just confirmation that if you have been treating yourself, it's perfectly fine. You deserve it because, as you can see in this reading, you're a very loving person. So, and you also know not to entertain people trying to trigger anger in you. So that's good. And I feel like it also have the ability to make people feel good about themselves as well. It may allow people to treat themselves as well, or encourage them to treat themselves, I should say. That is a power, because sometimes people like people, oh my gosh, you know, you should do this or you should treat yourself to this, and they're like, no, I couldn't, you know, I've got so many obligations I have to do, I just couldn't do that. But you're able to persuade people to look after themselves, and they actually listen to you and they do it, you know. But it's like, it's not until you say it then they'll actually do it. So yeah, then we have 3 plus 7 and 10. Yeah, so we've got 10 here and we've got 10 here, because of 37, and 3 plus 7 is 10. So you guys are like, yes, it's done, everything's good, I do what I need to do, I'm going to treat myself. And people can get cut who don't want to cooperate. Sorry, people will get cut who don't want to. Anyone who wants to disrespect me can get cut, and I don't care. And that's it. And those are the super qualities, part number 1. So if you like this video, like, subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to part number 2. Okay, part number 2, you are the 6 of Cups. Okay, so I feel for this pile, you guys are very caring. This part though, I feel like there was a lot of cards kind of representing intuitiveness, but we're going to get into that. But yeah, this part, you was giving me intuitive, psychic. You guys might be tarot readers as well watching this. But it's just very loving, caring energy. And what's interesting is this card came up for pile number 1 but it came up in another deck in their pile. So if you couldn't choose between 1 and 2, you can look at number 1. But if you was like, no, I was dead set on number 2, then we'll carry on. I feel like you guys are very charismatic. I think that's a quality that you have, that people notice. They're like, okay, wow. It's not. You don't even have to try. You know, some people, yeah, like they have to put on a show. Like they really, and you can see them. And you're like, wow, like you're really out here befriending everyone, and people can see it, and it's forced, and that's really sad. Because, and I'm not even mocking those type of people, because they obviously have trouble like making friends. So yeah, it's not funny, but. You guys, it's just effortless. Like people can see that you just naturally get along with a lot of people, and people are like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? Like if I try to speak to that person, they would say, ugh, get out of my face, who do you think you are? But when you speak to them, they're like, hey, pal number 2, how you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. Like, what's up? What's your child been saying? Like what's up? Like how are they? How's your husband? Like, you know what I mean? Like you get that response, but they would, if another person went to that same person, they would get, okay, come out my face. Why are you in my face? Why are you even in my area? Like, you know, that type of, or they weren't even getting no speech. They would just get a look like, you really came over here to speak to me. Are you okay? I don't want to speak to you. Some people behave like that, you know, they're rude, but it seems like you guys can speak to people that are rude and they won't be rude to you. And people are like, how? That's not fair, you know? But, oh well, you just ain't got the sauce like part number 2. That's your business, isn't it? Not everyone. That's not your niche. That's not a quality you have. Oh well, accept it. But you have it part number 2, so that's fine. I have to explain how this is a super quality, because just because it comes easy to you guys probably thinking, oh, it's nothing. No, some people really struggle with that. Like some people are not charismatic, and they really would like to be, but it's not happening. That's not where they, you know, shine. Anyways, moving forward, you have the ability for people to want to always, like, you know, come back to you. So you might have exes that always come back to you. They never leave you alone. I don't know what you did, but you have it. You have that energy of these men or these women. They're not going to leave you alone. They're coming back. You could say, oh my gosh, you could say the most foulest thing to them. And I don't think you guys would. You guys are probably really nice with your words. But you could say the most horrible thing, like, you know what, like, don't ever speak to me again. You're done out here. Anything, right? Okay, that wasn't very mean, but you know. And then, you know, they'll come back with, hi, how are you? And you're thinking, didn't I tell you to go away? Didn't I break up with you 5 months ago? Why are you still trying to talk to me? And yeah, they just want to go away. They don't get the message. They're like, okay, you just said that because you're angry. No, you was actually done. But yeah, they don't get it. Yeah, you might have old friends. Ooh, I feel like you have a lot of people that like watch you. Ooh, is a social media pal too? I feel like whatever you do, I feel people watch it, especially people from your past. You have the ability to make people from your past spy on you, and it's like, why are you doing that? You know, that is so interesting. Like you fully don't speak to these people anymore, but they're really up in your social media trying to watch what you're doing. It's really sad. I even feel like you guys might go to events and there's someone from the past that's there and they just stare at you the whole event because they can't speak to you because you said go away. So, you know, all they kind of, and it's just like, that's a bit creepy, you know, you're being creepy. So, madam. So, yeah, that's a bit bad. You might like always hang out with a group of girls or guys. Like, I don't know, like some of you have the ability to hang in a group. Okay, some people, they don't have that ability. They're loners, which is perfectly fine. But you guys are like, no, like I can be a loner if I want, but you know, I can, you know, merge in a group if I have to or if I wanted. It's not really hard. But for some people, it's pretty hard. So yeah, that's a super quality. People notice it. Okay, I'll go to the next one. We have the moon reversed. You guys might actually be a water sign, you know? It might be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, might have it in your chart. But you have the ability to get people talking, to get them to spill the beans. Yeah. You might be around someone and they just don't want to talk. Like, you know, there's some people that have this ability where, okay, I have to do a few scenarios and I feel like you guys are always this one person that's able to, you know, get the person to speak, right? You know, there's like this troubled teen that doesn't want to speak to anyone because they, you know, they just want to light the world on fire. You know that cliche. It's not even funny, but yeah, you know. Come on, you guys must know one or two teenagers that are like that, right? And then their family's like, oh my gosh, like, let's just talk about how you feel. They're like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about you. I don't care. Okay? Like, and you can see they care the most out of everyone in the room, right? And then you might be staring at them like, okay. And then, you know, you might be chilling them one day. All of a sudden, when you're talking to them, they're crying. They're telling you the whole... You've never seen this person cry in your life, you know. All of a sudden, they're crying. They tell you the whole of their business. Like, oh my gosh. It was my Aunt Jill who attacked my Uncle Freddie. And that's why I'm so angry. And then, like, you guys are like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know they had an Aunt Jill. That's what they was angry about. You know what I mean? Like, that type of thing. You're like, whoa. And you actually get someone talking the business that their mum don't even know about this business they're speaking about, yeah. And you didn't even try too hard to get them to open up. I think, yeah, you probably sat there in silence and they started speaking, or you said one or two triggering words. And they started speaking. Like I said, I feel like naturally you guys are like therapists. Natural therapists. It's not even hard. Because you're so empathetic or empathic. You're like, yeah. You know how to get people speaking. So yeah, that's one scenario. I had to use the moody teenager as an example. So you understand how you can get someone talking. Even like, I guess that can apply in so many situations. There's always like one person that acts like they don't want to talk, and then they start saying everything. Or you might be someone, yeah, where you know you've come to an event where it's a family event and no one in the family speaks about anything, and then the one day you've decided to come to the event, oh, everyone is spilling everyone's business. Everyone's talking about, what cousin Billy did. And then you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I've come on a really bad day. I was not supposed to witness all this. Like, what is going on? So yeah, I don't know. You have the power to see all the secrets, hear all the business, and yeah. So it might be like where you guys go, there might be a lot of drama, but you didn't create it. It's like you kind of, it's because you're able to get people to open up. Unfortunately now, it's obviously going to create a drama because it's like, since when is anyone really saying anything? Now they want to say something. But yeah, it could be drama just follows you because like you get people to really talk about what they should be speaking about so that they can heal. So you get people to basically heal, if that makes sense. You're like a healer. 6, 7, 8, 18, 9. Yeah. I believe the card number is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So yeah, it's reversed because it's like someone is preventing the healing process from happening, and then you're like, nah babe, it's happening right now because you're logging this out now. It's not healthy, and you make things healthy. We have the Judgment reversed. So okay, here's another scenario. Yeah, you guys are not very judgmental, but it's a superpower. Let me explain how it's a superpower. Okay, right, let's just say Tommy has been acting weird recently. To everyone, he's been acting a bit off, but to you, he has been acting off, but you're more trying to figure out, why is Tommy acting off, and then everyone's come to because everyone's thinking too logically. Everyone's come to the conclusion now, just because of one particular behavior Tommy's done. They're like, oh yeah, you see Tommy, you're done out here now. You know why? Now we're going to cuss you out because you did this. So that means you was trying to be spiteful. Okay? Stay with me. So you're kind of like, you defend Tommy. You're like, no. Hold on. Everyone calm down. Maybe Tommy didn't do that to be spiteful. Maybe he's going through something. And then they're like, what are you talking about? He's going through something. He obviously did it to be spiteful. And then you're like, no. Because if you look deeper, like maybe, Tommy's doing this because, his mum's neglecting him and he's just expressing how he feels. Not everything is to do with spite. And then people are like, oh. And then they look at Tommy, they're like, is that true? And then Tommy's like, I guess so. Like, oh my gosh. And even Tommy comes to the realization he didn't even do that. And then everyone's like, oh. And they're like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And then you're like, it was very obvious, like, come on. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, we was just about to attack you. But, pal number 2 proper saved you because I didn't understand why he's behaving like that. So you guys can see deeper into why someone behaves a certain way. So where people will see stuff in black and white, like, oh yeah, you did that because of this. You're like, you see the grey areas. You're like, no, they potentially could have behaved like this because of this and because of this and because of this and because of this and because of a bit of that. You're not thinking about all the other factors. You just want to stay fixated on one thing, and that may not necessarily be what it is. And the one thing you're thinking of, there may be a reason for that too that you're not thinking of. And if you thought of that, then you wouldn't be so quick to attack Tommy, So, yeah, that's the best. I hope you guys could understand that. But yeah, anyways, you're not very judgmental, and that is hard. Especially, I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's a lot of sheep in society, When I say sheep, there's people that are very good at just following rules or the rules of society, and they're like, yeah, that's what it is. Or, they just don't have a mind of their own. They just want to go with what everyone else is saying and thinking and doing, and they're like, yeah, that's Bible. Yeah. That's facts. And it's like, is it though? Is it though? Did you think outside the box, or you just gonna listen to what Greg is saying, and what Greg is saying is Bible, you know? So yeah, like, you guys just think outside the box. You're not very judgmental, you know. Huh. Some of you, and I think part number one got a similar message. Like, yeah, I feel like when you guys are done with a connection, you're at peace with it. You're like, okay, cool. I don't feel like you guys do the end. Like, I don't think you guys cut off people. So part number one, they more cut off people. Like, yeah, you're cut, and I'm fine with it. Like, I'm peaceful with that. You guys just allow things to just happen. And if someone comes to you and they say, you know what, I never want to speak to you again, part number two, like, come out my face, you're just gonna be like, okay, cool, that's fine. That's fine. Because all I've done is shown you love. So if you want to cut me off, you don't, obviously, I don't feel like you guys say this, but I think the thinking process is, listen, all I've done is show this person love, you know. So if they want to cut me off, or they want to disrespect me, then cool, like, cut me off. I ain't done nothing to you to make me feel like, you know, there was a good reason for you to cut me off. But I do respect, and I do love you enough to let you go and let you do that. So cool, bye, see you, you know. Like, you're like, whatever. It's not a problem. You know, some people are like, oh my gosh, why you guys are like, no, I don't, okay, see you. See you. No bitterness, nothing. Just lovely and sweet. And that's a superpower, because people are kind of like, oh my gosh, how can you, like, let someone just cut you off like that, and you're not even going to ask them for closure? You know, you're just like, no. Because the connection's done then. That means the universe, or whatever deity you believe in, has told you that the connection's done. And you've said, yeah, I accept it. Cool. There's so much peace with it. And then people are just like, wow, that's very strange. Then we have Helios cycles. So, okay, some of you may be very good at routine. There's that. You have a routine set in place. And it's a good quality to have, because some people, they don't have routine. And then this is why, you know, aspects of their life are in tatters right now, because they have no discipline. So, you know, so yeah, some of you are quite disciplined in some respects. Some of you, you know, have a routine, and people are like, oh, that's great that you can, you know, continue with that and stay with it. There's this element of, I think maybe it's freedom. It's weird because I just said routine. But at the same time, you guys have this vibe of, like, feeling free. You have the quality to feel free and to have routine at the same time. Like, so with your routine, it doesn't necessarily have to be done in the same way, but like, you could introduce new stuff into your routine where you're still doing what you're supposed to be doing, but you still have fun with it. There's that. But then coming out of the routine, like when you're going out with your friends or doing stuff, you have a very free vibe to you, and you know, you don't make people feel suffocated, and people really like that about you, basically. And then we have Sea Beacon Fairy Guidance, but where will it lead you? Reverse. So, do you know what you guys are therapists. I don't care what you tell me. You guys are therapists. Because this is what therapists do, you know. I feel like you're able to speak to someone and you ask them a lot of questions, but it's questions like open questions, like, so why do you feel like that? So what do you think the consequences of this are? So how has that affected you? You know? And when you ask these questions, people, they speak in depth. They're like, oh, well, no one's really asked me that, but da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like, through that conversation, you've given them some sort of guidance, but really they gave themselves the guidance, but you kind of gave them the guidance in a sense also, because it's like, you got them to, open up, to analyze their situation and then to improve it. So the reason why guidance is reversed is you haven't actually told them what to do, but you've given them access to themselves for them to realize what they're supposed to do. So it's very therapeutic. That's amazing that you guys can do that. You get people to think about their life, like, oh, and then they've given themselves the answer while they were speaking to you, and then they go and sort their life out, and they're like, wow, what I have to do is speak to partner number 2. That's interesting. So you don't get in the way of what someone wants to do. So you will never tell someone what to do with their life. Like, I don't get that vibe from you at all. You're more of like a passive or passive person, or someone that just stands there to the side or just listens. I would say not passive, but more receptive. And you just allow people to do what they want to do. And I guess they tend to make the best decisions because you don't come off judgmental and you really listen. And you don't come from a low vibrational place neither. So like, that is literally your superpower. But if you'd like to read and like, subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to pile number 3. Okay, so we have the 10 of Pentacles, pile number 3. I feel like your superpower is that some of you are very family focused, family based. I'll get to the ones that aren't, but let me speak about the ones that are. You have this ability to make people feel like they're family, like, you're my friend, but you're my family too, You do have that ability, and you make people feel like they're going to be in your life for a long time, or that you're going to be in their life for a long time. Like, you're a person that's just going to be there for the long run. You come across as a very, very reliable person. It's interesting because part number 1 was the 10 of Swords, and you guys are 10 of Pentacles, but you guys' energy is a bit more stable. It's like, oh, you guys also have the power to build, I would say. Even if things, don't work out, you're always able to build yourself back up. You always like say, you're like, well, I'm gonna do this, and and it's going to, work out for me in the long run because I'm building. I'm not just doing some last minute thing. I'm building. So and whatever it is that you're building is like, no one can take it away from you. I don't know what you guys are doing. Some of you may be studying, some of you may be working on a project, some of you may be going up in your career ladder, some of you may be creating a big family. Like, you might be on like your 4th child by now, and congratulations if you are. But like, whatever it is you're building is like a legacy or an empire, and no one can break it. They can't. And that's your superpower. You build things. You're a builder. You're a builder, and it's not in a bad way. If you're thinking, how can you build in a bad way? Here's how you can build in a bad way. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're Bob the Builder, in terms of, if you are like a person who builds up someone, and you haven't even built yourself, but you build up someone else first, and then your whole life is dedicated to building them, and then they turn around and say, oh yeah, I don't want you no more. I never really wanted you. You just helped me build. And then they go and, be with someone else. You basically dedicated your whole life to build for someone. And then they just left you for someone else. That is sad. That's not building in a good way. Okay? And I'm not laughing. I'm not actually going to laugh at that, because that actually happens to people, and that's really sad. But that is an example of building in a really bad way. But you guys, I'm not picking that up. I feel like you guys you build in a good way, and people can see that whatever it is that you're building is indestructible. No one can break it. Like, even if they tried, they're gonna flop, like, terribly and embarrassingly as well, if they ever tried. So yeah, you guys have this like indestructible vibe. Like, no one can. They could do 101 things to you. It's not gonna work. Like, you can't break power number 3. Like, you're dreaming at this point. You're dreaming. So yeah. Ooh, and this could be to do with partners as well, because I always feel like Pentacles is to do with connections as much as Cups is, but it's more like a stable one where the person just isn't going nowhere. So I feel like you also have this vibe of like when you meet someone, they feel like you're the person that they would like to basically settle with. You have the power to make people feel like that. Some of you may feel like, is that why I'm single? Okay, but you have the power to make some people feel like that. So yeah. Some people even feel like, because this is also a bit of how people notice you. Some people feel like you could literally be with anyone you wanted, because this is the Ten of Pentacles. This is like one of the best pentacle cards you're gonna get, really. Like, minor arcana anyway. It's like people feel like someone would be very lucky to even settle down with you and be with you, because you just build. Like, that is someone that you'd want to be with. So yeah, okay. I mean, big off yourself, power number 3. Then we have the Eight of Wands reversed. I was so confused at first, because I was like, how is that even a good quality reversed? Yeah, because but then I was looking at it deeper, and I was like, okay, cool, maybe. I always feel like someone that is representative of the Eight of Wands is someone who is very cultured. So they know a lot about different cultures, or they embrace certain cultures, which kind of also implies that they're very intelligent as well. That's how the way I see it. If you can actually pick up like things from different cultures and retain them in your brain and understand them, and even be open-minded enough to embrace them, then yeah, I definitely would say you're intelligent. I also feel like it's someone that's quite resourceful. It's someone that's quite, I already said open-minded. And what's interesting is you guys are like this, but I feel like a lot of you haven't even traveled to a lot of countries. You haven't even really been anywhere. Some of you haven't even left where you live. You haven't even left the country that you live in, but you know so much information about a lot of other places, or a lot of other beliefs, or a lot of information in general. And people are like, oh my gosh, so you must have travelled here. You must have gotten. And you're like, no, I've been living in California this whole time. I've really been nowhere. Where have I gone? I've not come out of the state. I've not come. I don't know. Like, I've been living in London for how many years? I've not come out of the country. You never know. So like, some of you actually haven't been anywhere, and people are just confused. They're like, what? How can you not have travelled? Like, people that, and even some of you that have actually left the country, maybe you've only been to like 3 countries maybe, and that's it. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, I would have thought you went to like at least 16 or 10. And you're just like, no. Search engine. But yeah, literally. My left eye is doing something weird, so I think that means something for your pal. But I'll put it in the description box below, like once I research what that means, because I actually forgot. I remembered at one point, but now I've forgotten. I've forgotten, so I have to work that out. It's been a long day. Okay, right. So, anyways, that's for those of you that haven't travelled a lot. Those of you that have travelled a lot, that didn't apply to you. You will get another message. Okay. Anyways, you basically represent the Eight of Wands, but people just feel like you haven't done what the Eight of Wands has done, which is travelled. All this information. Some of you are quite philosophical That's a power that you have. You make people think. You ask them questions like, people are like, oh, well, I'm so certain about this. And then you make them question life. You're like, how are you so certain about this when this and this is occurring? But who's to say that this is even real? And then people are like, oh, you know them high moments? And when they're like, oh, when people really think about life, that's how you have them really sitting there, really deeping life. Like, I really thought life was about this, but is it really about this? You know, it's quite, you make people get into deep thinking. I feel like you guys do a lot of things. You might be very multi-talented, or you know, you do maybe have loads of jobs, or you learn a lot of. I already said you learn a lot of stuff, but I just feel like in terms of physical activity, there's a lot of things you do. Maybe you're a very physical person. Maybe you go to the gym a lot. Maybe you do a sport, but it's kind of like people just can't believe it. They're like, how do you do that? I could never do that much jobs, or I could never, you know, do that sport, you know. I go in one position, I break a hamstring, I don't know, I pull some, it's not going to work. But it's effortless. It's like, yeah, I do this. I do this thing. Come on. And people just like, wow, that's interesting. The Empress reverse. Okay, so you want to know something. It's like a contradiction. You guys are a walking contradiction at this point. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a superpower. So you see so you guys come across as husband or wife material to a lot of people. You're the builders. Boom. Right. Now, if you are, I'm going to say a female, okay? It comes across, this is the issue now. Now, if you are the Ten of Pentacles and you're building, and this is not building in like in terms of like family. I mean building like maybe in more of a financial sense. Some people kind of look at you like, oh, like aren't you just kind of supposed to just be like a mum? Because that's what girls are supposed to do. Because you know, some people believe that's what women are. They're just like, you know, human incubators who just sit there and have children and do nothing but that, you know. And obviously being a mum's a full-time job, but you know, just because that's what they was doing in 1950s, yeah, like they think maybe yours just supposed to be, I'll get to the men in a minute, but yeah, they just feel like that's what you're supposed to be doing and that's it. And you guys are kind of like, I hope I said that right, incubator. I'm gonna research if that's even a word. I don't know if I said what I actually meant, but the point is, you guys are like, I'm still the Empress up in here. Like, I can have children whatever time I want. I can do the whole family thing. But right now I'm building my career. Or some of you are already mothers. And you may have people looking at you like, aren't you supposed to be at home with your children? And you're probably like, oh, they're in nursery? Okay. I'm going to work. They're with their grandma. I'm going to work so that I can provide for them. Come out my business, you know? Like, so I feel like some of you, if you're women, you just have a lot of people questioning like your mothering skills, or like, you know, thinking, you know, you're not really the traditional mom. I don't know like what you're doing, like, and then you're probably thinking at the end of the day, you lot aren't putting food in my child's tummy, so come out my business. Thank you. So yeah. It's, oh gosh, I feel, so some of you might just be irritated because it's like I'm grinding so hard. This is for those of you that are mums and have children right now. It's like I'm grinding so hard for my family, and people have the cheek to question me about am I being a good mother? Like, come out my face, you know. And then those of you that aren't like parents yet, and you're women, I'm just kind of picking up like, people are just looking at you like, why have you not settled down yet? Why have you not had children yet? Aren't you getting a bit old? And you're just kind of like, If you want children so bad, go make your own children. Don't be watching me and what I do with my genitals, thanks. It's just like, come on. Anyways, I won't. Let's move on because I'm just gonna get into that too much. But yeah, I feel like you guys are very abundant, but it's in a way, as I said, that's not usually attainable. So I feel like you guys are doing something where you're getting money, but society, you wouldn't think to get money that way. Like, no one who thinks in a boring way or traditional way would think to make money the way you make money. So yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, it's a bit different, but I guess it's working for you. And that's a superpower, because people feel like if I tried to do that, I wouldn't be making money the way that pound number 3 is making money. And then some people kind of like, I couldn't, when it comes in terms of like the mother thing I just explained, if I did that as a mother, this is what people thinking, if I did that as a mother, people would look down on me, so I wouldn't even do it. But at the same time, they wouldn't do it because obviously they don't want to feel embarrassed by what, you know, their friends or family or society's going to say. But at the same time, they really respect you for it, because it's like, cool, you're not doing what the traditional mum does, but at least you're out here hustling, no one can tell you nothing. So yeah. Yeah, you have all this chat. Okay, you have all this chat. Where's the money for my children? Oh, you don't have it? Shut your mouth then. Thank you. Okay. Then we have Hermes communication. So you guys are really good at communicating. Very good. You guys are, some of you, okay, so here's where some of your good qualities are. Some of you are good at writing emails. Some of you are good at public speaking. It's a breeze, it's nothing. Stage fright? I could never, you know? Coursework. I don't know. Anything to do with writing. Some of you may be really good at English, okay? English-based subjects you may be really, really good at. And it doesn't necessarily have to be English. It could also be, you know, whatever language that they speak in your country, you may be very fluent in it. So it's very, you know, you're very fluent in that respect. Very educated. Okay, and some of you, I'm getting that a lot of you educated, but it could be a thing where if you're not educated, you just have the gift of the gab, like you're just very vocal. But there is a strategy when it comes to your speech, like you're very skilled at speech. You know when to say certain things and know when not to say certain things, and you know how to persuade, and then you know how to manipulate also. So it's a very serious skill. It could do damage if you intended. So people seriously see that as a skill. We have a clockwork pumpkin, a wonderful idea, the aha moment reverse. So here's the thing. You really, really think. Okay, duh. No, seriously though. You guys have a lot of ideas. You have stuff cooking, like you've been in the kitchen cooking, okay, like that. And it could be literally, but I more mean, you know, metaphorically. Like you have an idea, and you've been doing it, and I don't think you tell anyone it. I think you just do it, and then boom, it's done. And then people are like, what? So when did part number 3 do that? Like, who told them to do that? You found out how to do it. You found a way, and you've done it. And then, but the thing is, people are like, how? How? You didn't even have a mentor? You didn't even have any help? No, part number 3 did not have help. They can't understand. They can't fathom. They can't understand how you just did what you've done. How you've done what you've done. And you've needed no assistance. They don't get it. They're like, how? some people feel like you're not even the brains behind what you do. And no, that's not true. They have to persuade themselves. They have to tell themselves there's no way that you have done what you've done without help. They always assume that you've needed help, but deep down inside they know that you did this by yourself, and they won't accept it. And because the people that notice this, they feel like they need help to do half the stuff you've done, and there's no way that they can accept that you've done this by yourself, because if they was to accept that, then they would feel really bad about themselves, and they don't want to feel bad about themselves, so they have to believe a lie, and it's that you need help with everything you do. And I don't think you do from this reading. No, especially if you're the builder. No. So yeah, you got some people that are in denial about your abilities, which is really sad. Yeah, like 3 of these cards are reversed, which gives me the vibe that all these people, they see that you have these good qualities, but they're like, no way. No way. It's like you're a make-believe person. You're not real. They just can't. I don't know. Nah. Wow. It's like, this is interesting, Humbletree, because it's like, it's different to the other 2 piles, because it's like people are more accepting of, their good qualities, but maybe even jealous to some extent. But with you guys, it's like, these people don't even want to admit that you have these super qualities, because it would make them feel so crap about themselves, and they refuse. So that's how strong your abilities are and unbelievable they are, that people just want to sit there and be like, that's not that. They didn't do that themselves. Yeah, the 39 on the card, so 3 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3. Yeah, they can't, because 3 is about like cooperation with other people sometimes, and I just personally feel like if the card's reversed, that means you don't really need people to really help you with anything. You're very self-sufficient. Obviously, no one is completely self-sufficient. You do sometimes need someone, but the things that you've seriously been working on, you've actually been doing this by yourself, and people can't believe it. But if you like this reading, like, subscribe to my channel. If you like a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. Bye, guys.